our source is at the office, very tight circle, the office of leader Moshtaba Khamenei in Tehran. And he was authorized to pass the information to the Pakistanis. So the information reached Asim Munir, Field Marshal Asim Munir. And after that, we learned about it. We learned it from Pakistani intelligence. Okay, the mechanism, straight to the point, to you and our audience. There was a back channel set up by Tulsi Gabbard last May to talk to Ahmad Vahidi, the leader of the IRGC, going through Iraqi Kurdistan, near Shirvan Barzani, the president of Iraqi Kurdistan. So they set up an encrypted line. Tulsi was authorized by Trump and by J.D. Vance to conduct that operation. But nothing much happened afterwards. The channel was there, was established, the secure line was there, but was dormant. Nothing much happened for 3 months. A few days ago, Trump resuscitated the back channel, but for a buyout operation and for a divide and rule direct interference with the IRGC and the top levels of the Iranian government. So this was Barzani relayed to Ahmad Vahidi directly. Vahidi said no, and then Vahidi told Mohsen Rezai, which is the number 2 man in Iran, new secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, and this arrived to leader Moshtaba Khamenei. According to our source, and that's the really hard course. According to our source, Trump promised billions of dollars to Vahidi specifically and to other IRGC top military officials, basically, if they would apply the Venezuela model, corrode the top of the Iranian government from the inside. Essentially, Roman a divide and rule, which is probably one of the few things that the Brits learned from the Romans and the Americans learned from the Brits. You play divide and rule, and you play divide and rule with your enemies, preferably at the top of their administration, like they did in Venezuela. So Trump and the people around him saw that the Venezuela playbook would work with military men in Iran, which proves once again that the degree of cultural stupidity of these people is off the charts. They don't know anything about, first of all, the Shiite code of ethics, of moral values, of commitment to resistance, of sovereignty, of independence, and especially how to defend their civilization state from a threat by a foreign power. And all these people are deeply implicated in it. Number 2, he was trying to talk to the wrong man. Vahidi is not the most important member of the IRGC, even though he is the commander-in-chief now. The most important former commander of the IRGC and now overseeing everything related to top-of-the-line military matters is Mohsen Rezai, who is
National Council Chair.
Exactly. Appointed directly by Moshtaba to be his personal representative on top of his new job as Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, 13 members. This is the top of the top of the top of the Iranian government. Vahidi is only one. Vahidi, in terms of power, he could be number 5, number 6, or number 7. And obviously, these people are incorruptible in terms of they see themselves immersed in a sacred, we can say sacred with the religious overtones, of course, mission of defending Iran from the attack by a foreign power. So what happened? Vahidi basically told Barzani, absolutely no way I'll do that, because then I'll be committing treason and I'll be betraying my own nation. After that, he told Mohsen Rezai, and the information arrived at the supreme leader. And after that, so we established this chain between Tuesday and Wednesday, Larry and I. So yesterday, finally, we had the whole chain, how the whole thing worked. And then the office of Moshtaba Khamenei was authorized to pass the information to the Pakistanis. Why? Because they talk constantly with Field Marshal Asim Munir. And before this, let's say, the Iraqi Kurdistan gambit, Trump tried to enlist Asim Munir himself to do something very, very similar. Talk to Vahidi and, check out what he's up to, or is he willing to an opening for us to the tune of a few $1 billion. It was not, in terms of the original purpose of the channel, was a diplomatic channel, a backroom diplomatic channel. This time it was used essentially for bribery. So the headline of the whole story is the President of the United States tried to bribe the leadership of the RGC to the tune of billions of dollars. That's the headline. And we broke that
So,
story yesterday.
so that's in line with a story came out of Iran by Amwaj Media on the weekend. Um, so Amwaj Media has independently confirmed. Oh, so the Axe just put out a story, and then Iranian media confirmed it. Amwaj Media, that Kurdish leader Nashirvan Barzani, which you've
Shirvan
referenced,
Barzani, president of the Iraqi Kurdistan,
Kurdistan,
essentially. Kurdistan regional government. Yes, please go
served
ahead.
as a secret back channel between the Trump administration and the IRGC in May. So is that the one? Is that back in May, or is that more recent? You're talking
Exactly. Exactly. But that's the problem. They don't have the new information that we do.
okay.
What they are
So
talking
this is
about is
the one. The one is more recent. Your one.
exactly, Mario. Very, very important. This initial back channel, that's the one initiated by Tulsi in May.
Oh, okay.
It's a completely different story. What we're talking about is what happened these past few days.
Okay.
So that's the really new information that when we heard it the first time, of course, our first instinct, we need confirmation. There won't be any independent confirmation about this because this comes from the highest level of the Iranian government. And in fact, they would not even want to leak it. In fact, they did not leak. They told Asim Munir, because Asim Munir is talking to the leadership in Tehran, IRGC leadership, because after all, Pakistan, they are the mediators between Iran and the US. So these guys are talking at the top everywhere, as much as Asim Munir talks to Trump on a regular basis. In fact, according to our Pakistani friends, Trump calls Asim Munir virtually every day because he still wants to find an off ramp which would or would not include bribes, so the Iranians would back on the table and would accept American terms, which they will never do, of course. So this is the new information, and it fits the mafioso style of this administration. And immediately after that, yesterday, we had an extra confirmation that this is the empire of bribes or extortion money or both. I'm sure by now everybody knows what happened with both Koreas. Trump ingratiated himself once again with the Kim Jong Un in the DPRK. Hey Kim, how you doing? We're best buddies, etc. etc. And immediately after that, in Trump's own words, and I'm quoting him, we asked for $10 billion. Asked who? South Korea. Extortion money. Mafia, once again. Empire of bribes and extortion money. So this is the modus operandi of this. We can describe them. Very short description, in fact. The empire of grifters. Empire of chaos, plunder, piracy, as we all know, lies. Mike Pompeo, we lie, we cheat, we steal, but empire of bribes as well, and empire of extortion, money. So this is where we are. Is anybody minimally impressed by all this? No, because it fits a pattern. And especially all across the global south and in many points of the global north, people look at this and say, of course, this is the way Trump behaves. Once again, we have confirmation from the
So
top.
is the bribe to accept a peace deal, to accept an off ramp?